convey this translator.
In today's episode, we will talk about Russia. Russia is the glorified, unknown country on the outskirts of the world. Even though it's the biggest country in the world, people are afraid to do business with Russia because they think it's wild as North Korea, as Africa. There's been communism and socialism back in a few years ago when Vladimir Lenin took over the country, and you know the rest is history. And foreign businessmen, Americans, Germans, Europeans, are very hesitant to go to Russia and try to make business there. But we weren't. We tried to do that, and I'm going to share with you a lot of interesting ideas. I would call it like a spoilers, business secrets, so you can implement them in your own practice and become a successful entrepreneur. So, what is Russia? Russia is considered a poor country similar to Pakistan, to India, where there are lots of people online, but these people do not purchase anything, right? They just look for free stuff. This is true in a way. This is one of the mentality of Russian people, but at the same time, if they really need something and you are the only one who provides this, you can get a following, you can get a business, you can get a traction of your product, of your sales. So, given that in mind, I did some research. I went online and I used the keyword searching tool called keywordtool.io. It's a paid tool. It allowed me to type in search keywords, the ones I'm using for the American market, and I translated them with a machine translator into Russian language and Googled that. I tried to see what's the competition in the local market, how hard it is to get on top of the search. And my goal is, in the long term, of course, I want to be highly positioned in the organic search, but in the short term, as an entrepreneur, I want to make money right away. So I need to deploy the Google Ads. Google Ads is the fastest way you can deploy your website into a foreign language. But first you need to translate this website. So what we did, we used our own plugin for convey this for WordPress. We translated our website gigla.com into Russian language. It was automatic translation. Then we hired a linguist to proofread those machine translations, and we paid around $50 to that person to do index page and our dashboard pages, those pages where users interact with our product, such as payment checkout pages, tutorials, help pages. So all these essential landing and transactional pages have been proofread by the native speaking linguist. Otherwise, translation would be laughable, and people would be really suspicious when they discover your website through paid search, whether you are a legitimate company or not. So that was the basic step. Pre-translation with Convey This, and then proofreading with the professional linguists. Then I researched the keywords I would like my ads to be displaying for. And there is a big problem with you if you don't speak the language. How would you deploy your ads in a foreign language? That's the great question. So the answer is, do not go crazy. You do not know the new market for you, so start with a low budget, maybe like $10 per day. and average click, don't set it up too high. Your job is to find profitable keywords that do not cost a lot, right? So you need to try different varieties of keywords, and at first put the low bids, and then if the conversions keep growing, you see the keyword converts, you can increase the bids to make sure you have more prominence, more exposure. So that's what I did. I did deploy the keywords, and I also wrote the ads. The ads needs to be very compelling. You have to showcase your product. You need to make sure you do not overpromise to your visitors in the ads. Just be honest with them. This is what you're offering, and that's it. You submit for approval, and the approval came in very fast, around just a couple of hours. I think some moderator just looks over your ads and verifies there is no links to pharma or porn sites or something illegal, prohibited, and then we were good to go. We started, showing up in Russian. Another thing I did is Russia has AdWords since AdWords is the American company owned by Google, and America is not doing well politically with Russia. They have some sanctions, economic sanctions, and Google is not really giving a lot of credit to Russian market. Therefore, your ads exposure would be limited. So what we did is we researched on other countries that where Russian-speaking people live, such as Belarus, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Moldova, and we deployed the campaign in Russian language, Russian ads, to the Russian version of the gclaw.com to those in those countries. What Google Ads allows us to do is to increase or decrease the number of bids based on the country, which is a very helpful tool. You can also increase or decrease your bids further depending on which city you want to advertise. If this is the capital city, such as Minsk in Belarus or Kiev in Ukraine, you probably want to increase the bid because the local competition could be fierce, and you have to stand out in that. But this is just the next level. The first level, to get started, you need to just do it uniformly and see how it converts. So my impression is the Russian market is not as competitive as the United States. US has a bloodbath. This is big players playing Google with huge war chest in terms of the bank account, Amazon, IBM, a handful of others, and a little guy like us crawling in. This is a very remarkable, laughing, endeavor in terms of the budget. So these big players really try to scoop off all the marketing budget and really outbid all the challengers in terms of the auction price. So you need to look elsewhere, and we did find a very attractive, low competition blue ocean in Russia, and the cost per click was remarkably low, but the conversion was not great either. What do I mean by that? I mean that people do convert, and you need to install the conversion tracking using the Google Ads tools. I don't care whether you're using Google Analytics or Yandex Metrica or any other Metrica. The actual analytics is not important. And important is the tracking tool within the Google Ads. This shows you which keywords actually converted into sales. Since we're not so advanced in terms of the sales, we so far as a startup we just set up the conversion tracking based on the account creation. If the user landed on your page and then created an account, we treat this as the successful tool, and we count this as a conversion. So far, so good. So once we count this as a conversion, a user will try to upload their documents to our website and try to get something done, like you submit their payment. And of course, there is an additional layer of conversion from those users. So the funnel gets narrower and narrower. But for the sake of the experiment, we decided that this is it. We just counted the users who created an account as a successful transaction, and we analyzed the keywords and constantly tried to refine those keywords. It turns out people are, since it was a very new product for us, new niche, we didn't know what exactly people are looking for, and we had to find some negative keywords, the keywords that people erroneously used and brought to our website, which weren't in our target marketing, target customers. So we had to cancel out those keywords and lower their bids. So it's a refinery process. You have to do it once a day in the beginning, and then once a week later on. And in the end of the day, you can do it maybe only once a month, just to take a quick glimpse at the campaign and see where your conversions are coming and where this industry is going. So another two tools I'm using routinely is the competition research tools. Since I don't know all the ads, all the keywords of my competitors, it's very helpful to use those tools just to give me a better idea what my competitors are trying to do, what keywords they're trying to implement. So I'm using the paid subscription tools from SpyFu and iSpionage. I can give those links in it down below. Just leave me a comment, show some activity under this video, and I'll be glad to provide you with the additional information. So conversion tracking links to a very important understanding. What is your lifetime value of your customer? So if you can precisely or very closely calculate the lifetime value of your customers, meaning how much money over the lifetime the customer will bring to you, and as long as this amount is higher than the cost of acquisition of that customer, you're good to go. So that means you can keep pushing your Google ads, and you can expand your service through Google ads. In the long run, like I said, I want to be in the organic search, but Google indexation takes a long time, and since the startup is only 3 months old, we didn't have time to wait on the sidelines and just wait for the results to appear. We will be supporting the blog and try to do some content marketing and distribution on social networks, but in general, Google Ads is the best bet. So that's what we're sticking with right now. And the idea is we are using our own product of Convey This, and we are being successful with our new startup Gigla.com, which is the audio transcription company. And so this is what this boils down to. Don't be afraid to experiment. Even the market like Russia, I would say oh my God, this is ridiculous. It's like the cost of click is cheap, but these people do not convert. Try to make the Russians pay. You're gonna probably turn really angry and depressed. They are tough cookies, but believe it or not, we're still getting Russian paying customers, and they are paying off for themselves by all these other Russian customers who did not pay. So in the end of the day, the math still works, and this is what it's all about. You can do many experiments, and as if you watched our other videos on German expansion and French penetration and Korean penetration, it's all been tested and going pretty well. So this concludes my presentation about Russian penetration. If you have any questions about this video, about some details on the competitor research and the marketing research and keywords and anything else, feel free to leave the comment down below. And don't forget to give this video a powerful like. Subscribe to this channel. I'm going to publish you more information about other languages soon. My name is Alex. I'm the American entrepreneur. Bye-bye.
Convey this translator.